This right here is a cynical machine called the death suicide machine. The suicide machine making suicide normal. That if you want to die, just jump in this machine, press a button, and you die. And this is the 3D printed version. And this is how the man talked. Check this out.
At a funeral fair in Amsterdam last week, that's right, a funeral fair, a well-known euthanasia advocate unveiled a suicide machine.
Visitors to the fair used virtual reality glasses to simulate the experience. Nishka and Dutch designer Alexander Banning hope to build the first functioning Sarco by the end of the year. Philip Nishka unveiled his so-called suicide machine at a funeral fair in Amsterdam last week.
My designer, Alexander, who's come over all the way from the Netherlands, has been involved in a very important aspect of the Sarco, which is that it can be 3D printed. So that's the device seen here, depicted at sunrise in some field, and I guess you can put the device wherever you like, really. You can take it up and park it on the cliffs overlooking the Pacific, I guess, waiting for the sunset. But once you climb into the Sarco and press the button, you will peacefully die in the same way, I guess, as a roller coaster, with euphoria and, I would suggest, elegance.
Philip Nitsky designed what he's calling the Sarco. The Sarco capsule comes with a detachable coffin and a hookup for a nitrogen container. And what's a devastating invention, if someone wants to commit suicide, they go in the Sarco capsule, press a button, and they are killed once it's filled with nitrogen. This euthanasia advocate, Philip Nitsky, said as a medical student, he was inspired by Jack Kevorkian, or Dr. Death, who assisted in at least 130 suicides. But doctors are not meant to kill. No one is.
Anyone who can climb into this machine and press a button inside will peacefully die. Now, Alex, say a few words, please.
This was probably the one assignment that I didn't see coming. And it took a little while for me in order to know for myself if I wanted to help. Because this subject for you is all very natural and it's, well, embedded in your life.
A contained area, which is the base, which has a little area which pulls back out, and you can fill it up with liquid nitrogen in a special thermos flask. Then it's loaded. A person, when they satisfy the security requirements, and I'll say a little bit more about that later, get into the machine, the canopy closes. If they press the button inside, no one else can press it, has to be pressed from inside. The liquid nitrogen floods out across a series of evaporators in the base here and boils rapidly. And what happens is that there's a sudden movement of gas into this top part. It pushes the air out, and we've done tests monitoring the oxygen level, and it drops down to levels which would bring quick loss of consciousness in less than a minute. It's rapid. And so a person in there would experience a short period of euphoria, perhaps, certainly not a painful experience, before they lost consciousness, and then they're effectively in a zero oxygen environment, and so death follows within a few minutes.
One biomedical ethics professor and a member of the Pontifical Academy for Life, Daniel Solmasi, criticized this invention as bad medicine, ethics, and bad public policy. Somasi told Newsweek it converts killing into a form of healing and doesn't acknowledge that we can now do more for symptoms through palliative care than ever before.
I thought to myself, I can see a world where people who want a peaceful death, reliable at the time of their choosing, should be able to have that option. And I can see something like this for common use as a way of solving that issue.
Did you hear that? First of all, a common use? Like this is just a little mom and pop shop that you just walk in. Oh, I'm tired of living. Oh, let me get it on, get my VR, AI, see some mountains, and let me press a button and go in my life. Whoop-de-doo. Come on, who think like this, man? What kind of world are we living in? And now we're creating death machines. Looks like something out of a sci-fi movie. Please subscribe, leave your comments, and have a nice day. Thank you very much.